All right, Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly Sidereal astrology forecast for the week of October 5th through the 11th. My name is Athen. So this is for Sidereal astrology. If you're new to this form of astrology, whoops, just dropped my pen. Do check the description down below because your sign might be different. And there's a lot taking place this week, Sagittarius. A lot of aspects. It's almost like last week there was this gap, and then now all of a sudden all of these transits are joining the mix from last week this week. There's a lot going on. There's a mixed bag between the easy aspects and challenging ones, as there usually is when there's a few transits. And I'll go and break it down one by one. If you have any questions, please do let me know in the comments down below. So the first major thing is that Saturn is making his way into Scorpio this month, and it's going to be sextiling up to the North Node. And in fact, the North Node is shaping up. There's a lot of changes happening with it. Mercury is going station direct on Friday after a few week long retrograde, and now when he does that, he goes right over that North Node and then goes forward. So usually what that means is a shift to our life path, as there has been last month with all those eclipses and everything. But for you, it has a lot to do with your career, also with the ninth house, which I'll talk about. But in terms of the shifts, maybe the things you have been reflecting on in terms of your career, your legacy, your public image, and even relationships start to move forward. And there's a lot to learn about that, especially around Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and even into Saturday when these aspects are going exact. And this position is going to be sextiling up to that Saturn. So with Saturn and Scorpio, for about the next 2 years for you, there is this solid, grounded approach to the spiritual aspects of life. So when you are getting that alone time, when you are getting that meditative time, that's going to form a foundation for the other areas of your life. That's Saturn. And all of that is in harmonious aspect up to these shifts and changes taking place for you when it comes to your career, when it comes to your legacy and public image sort of things. So that's going to be a general energy of the week, shifts and change there, along with relationships. Jupiter's trining up to Pluto this week, so there is actually a very nice support when it comes to the adventurous aspects of life. Like I've been saying, there's a lot of activity in your ninth house, and with Jupiter, it's about openings, it's about opportunities. If it's not literally like traveling, which it isn't always the case, it depends on your personal chart and you as a person, but if it's not traveling, then it's about philosophy, it's about expanding the mind, or sharing information, or gaining wisdom, and all of these things which are seen from the ninth house. So nice energy there. It's all about the change that's been happening with you, which has been Pluto restructuring your first house, and that's all supporting these changes with your horizons, which are going to continue to expand and quite literally could expand for the next couple of weeks. So I highly recommend continuing to not only see those opportunities, but make them into a reality these next couple of weeks with this aspect in orb. So those are the general energies of the week. As you can see, they're the blue ones, and a lot of them go into next week. This is that Mercury conjoining up to the North Node, so there is that learning process taking place with career and relationships and energy moving forward there. But there's also these challenging ones, and it's kind of split up into two halves, the first part of the week and then the weekend. So with the first part of the week, Mars opposes Neptune and the Sun squares up to Pluto. So with that being said, these aren't the easiest aspects in the world. Mars is about our assertiveness, our drive. For you, it's your self-expression and that alone time. So it's very important to have faith and trust when it comes to whatever it is that it's expanding for you. Again, whether it's philosophical or otherwise, as well as with your self-expression, uncertainty, the things that you're excited about or passionate about in life. It could have to do with entrepreneurship or creative projects. So whatever it is, have faith and trust in the process. That's what we're all learning right now with this kind of transit. And it's nothing new. We've had a lot of aspects with this Neptune from this ninth house of yours. But a lot of times with Mars, we want it now, we want to get it done. And Neptune is saying, okay, but there's, of course, a lot of other things at work here. There's a divine plan, and it's about being aware of that and relaxing into that, because it's about remembering the importance of having that faith. And so this is all in the area of your third house, so it's uncertainty too, perhaps about the practical aspects of life. What are the daily things that are going on, maybe with all these things expanding, maybe even the practical aspects of your mind, which is, while there is maybe a philosophy and new possibilities and things expanding, there's also this uncertainty about, does it really apply practically? Does it really apply, in a grounded sense in reality? And these are good kinds of questions, but at the same time, Neptune is helping you realize that there's something there that is unfolding naturally. And to kind of, the more you can ease the mind and have less of that very strong analytical energy where it becomes trying to figure it out too much, then sometimes that can get in the way, and there can be a good relaxation when you are allowing the information or whatever it is, the daily stuff, to kind of unfold naturally and organically in your life. So that's going to be important, as well as the sun squaring up to Pluto. And again, that's the Pluto in your first house, changing you, has been for many years. So things relating to your work and career, again, things shaping up there. But in this first part of the week, take it nice and slow with the square from Pluto. Tap into that heart center. When things are coming from the heart and things are coming from non-attachment, in terms of you not necessarily having a particular ideal in terms of how things should turn out. If the more open you are to things turning out in a way you didn't expect, then this aspect is very, very constructive, and it's all for you to make change when it comes to not only your career, but also your outlook on life and your philosophy and things like that. And it's for all of us to a degree, it's about that, expressing that and sharing that with the world, which is the sun. So that's the first half of the week. And then the second half, in terms of these more challenging aspects, Venus squares up to Saturn, and then the sun opposes up to Uranus on Sunday. So with Venus naturally rules your routine and your networks, whether it's your friends or whatever, but it could also be your work with the 6th house. So whatever it is, work, routine, health, friends, networking, take it nice and slow. It's a lot of this grounded energy this week. Patience is what Saturn's showing you. It's nothing new, actually. This is the 3rd time this has already happened. It's now the final aspect, final integration of patience with those things, and also patience with whatever it is you're expanding, which is that 9th house. And naturally through that can become, again, very grounded. And on Sunday, and this will go into next week, the sun will be opposing up to Uranus. So there are changes, like I said, happening to your career, but there's also changes happening to your home life or, family life. So if that's the case, stay nice and grounded. Remember the importance of having the balance between work life and home life. And if there is something that you're excited about or something that's really impulsively driving you to make some changes in the career or in the home sector, that's great. But keep both feet firmly on the ground. I always say that with any harsh aspect from Uranus, because Uranus wants us to we just feel like we want to make some sudden changes, but it's important to stay grounded. And again, to see that when things are good in the career, there should also be something that benefits you in the home life, and when things are good in the home life, they're also good for your career, etc. So Sagittarius, the high point is certainly that you guys are going to continue to transform very much. Your ruler Jupiter squaring up to Pluto is a lot of positive changes with you, a lot of positive changes with your outlook on life, your philosophy, etc. And also your home and family. Jupiter rules your 4th house. So it's positive changes there, but it is a challenging week for all of us. So I think having that extra attention in terms of the areas I mentioned, and Mercury going direct is kind of this pause too this week, where there's a shift. And so I think just kind of pausing for a second in the career side of things, being willing to learn and be malleable in that will help that learning process take place. And that'll continue to move forward for you next week. That's also involving relationships. And by the way, we're going to have a new moon next Monday after this week in that 10th house. So you do have a lot of new beginnings shaping up for you in the career and public sector. So Sagittarius, have a good one. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I'll see you all next time. Take care.